Good evening, everyone. So we are going to start the session today, and as we have discussed, like yesterday, like we had started with Python programming, and then we have introduced the new package Pandas, and we have done a few exercises around this and understood the different type of functions that is available in the data structure that is there in Pandas. So we'll continue our journey, and we will have some more details further in Pandas that will do some
common, but
practice around
reading
there.
not necessarily needs to be common. Okay.
Hello, anything from anyone? Okay, perfect. Please confirm me, like if you're able to see my screen.
Yes, sir. Yes, we are able to see.
Okay, perfect. Right. Right. So we have done up to this. We are able to create the data frame from data frame. That is what we have done yesterday. So let's continue this, and we will be starting the new one where we talk about the further steps and all there. Okay. So let's create now. 1 minute. Let me stop sharing. Okay.
Okay.
So there's some echo there. Please put on mute. Let me put everyone on mute so that we can communicate well at all. Right. Perfect. So if you have any question, please feel free to type it. We can unmute and then we will talk on that. All right. So let's continue with our data frame structure. So we have seen earlier that how we have created the a data frame out of data frame. And today we are going to create this from the dictionary there. So please create this one. I think you have all done this one there, right? Where we have created Olympic series participation with the series, and then we had created the data frame using the series there. And this DF Olympic series that display the content of the data set. Just give me a confirmation if you are done with this. Yeah, just mention in the chat if we are good there. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Pranali. And yeah, just give me a confirmation, all done. So that should be like, say, for example, you open your collab or say Jupyter Notebook and just run those two command again, import part of this so that in case if you have not done, it will create some, again, runtime error there. So import NumPy as NP and then import Pandas as PD. Keep these two things ready. And I think others you had already done that. Okay, perfect. So we are good up to here. So we are able to create a data set that has the data frame Olympic series where we had talked about the year and then host cities and number of participating countries there. We'll continue now and then let's start doing the select data. So we have different columns out there. So one is like host city. So based on the host city, we just get all the value associated to host cities that we can display here. Okay. Now you can try out this one. Okay. So let's give the pointer. So DF, let's call this function wherein DF Olympic series dot LOC 2012. So we are trying to get the location of this for 2012. So what are the value that is associated with 2012? So host cities and then and country, like the number of participating countries that would be displayed here. So just call this function DF underscore Olympic series and then call the function LOC location and pass this value, the year. And you can try out with different year also.
Sir, is this data set available in our the website?
Okay, Pritam, I think you had missed out this. So we had created the data set, the data frame, yesterday in the session. So this one was the data set that we had created. This one, DF Olympic series participation, and then Olympic series country, and then this data frame has been created with this. So data frame Olympic series. So that has a number of participating countries, then the year on which Olympic game has been done, like sports has been scheduled, and then the city where it has been hosted. So all those things are now part of data frame.
Okay. Sir, from where can I get this data, sir?
You have to write this code, and then you have to create a data frame.
Oh, it's not like an Excel. We are not importing an Excel.
No, right now we are not importing. We are creating using the series.
Okay. Got
Going
it.
forward, we will like upload this thing from CSV file. But right now we are just creating it from the local system itself.
Oh, okay, sir.
I have given the code in the chat, Manoj, for
Okay, thank you. So kind of you, Rajesh. Perfect. So you directly use this code. Pritam, you would be good. Perfect. So that way you can just take this code and then put it there and run it through.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Yes. Thank you, sir.
Very nice. Okay. Now you will be able to display the content. The content we have host city, number of participating country, and then the year value that we have there. Okay. Perfect. Now we are calling this host cities, and then you are able to display all the value associated with this, right? Okay. Now we have to go back and now check this one. So Pritham, you can also start from here. DF Olympics is now this data frame is created. Call the function select level location based on access by the level. So 2012 is the level we had, right? So we just pass this thing 2012 and we can get host cities, and host cities is London, and number of participating countries is 205. So in 2012, 205 countries have participated where the Olympic game has been hosted in London. So that way you are able to gather the details from each of the specific year where the Olympic game has been scheduled. Great. So that way we can directly get this thing from here, and then we have the other option that we are using the index iloc index location, and then we can pass 0 to 2 or 0 to 3 and all. So we are able to get all the positions. So it starts with say 2012. So the first and second index that would be there. So 2012 and 2008 that we are able to display here. So use I location, that is index by location, and call this function there. Okay, once you're done, just mention done in the account box. Perfect. So Arun is done, Rajesh done, Pritam done. Wow, wonderful. Pranali done. Okay. Ruchi also done. Excellent. So that way we are calling this iLog and then we are giving this range. So with this, we are able to slice this. Like say we have data frame, just we wanted to have index from 0 to 2. So that way we got these two values. Then complete this thing, df olympic series dot I at, you are able to get this value, the integer location based on the data selection by index value. And then the other one that we have DF Olympic, here number of participating countries where it is more than 200. So list down all the countries that series where we have the number of participating countries is more than 200. So it is going to give the all the details. So we are able to select the data element by condition where number of participating countries are more than 200. Okay, fine, Divya's got your message. Thank you. Okay. I'll just give you confirmation once you are done with all the steps. Perfect. Okay, Pranali, this is the data frame. If you go back, this is the data frame.
Okay, Manu sir, what is this I8 doing?
Sorry.
There is one.
Index at, like, what is the value here at 3 and 1? So it is giving you the specific value that is there into this index at 3 and 1. So in the so it is like on the third column, okay, and the first row, what is the value? So it is giving you pinpointed value from the data frame.
It starts from 0, right, Manoj?
Right. It starts with a 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, right? And then you have same one, 0, 1, 2. Like say row starts with 0, 1, 2, 3. Similarly, column starts with 0, 1, 2, 3. So
So
that
if
way
it
you
is
calculate.
3, 1, means fourth column and second row. Sorry, fourth row and second column.
Right.
It is in my data frame. This is Beijing. I don't know. I mean, it's showing Sydney.
Can you bring it on? Like 1
Yeah,
minute.
yeah.
Just a minute. Let me stop it. Yeah, please bring it on.
I'm getting error. Host disabled participant is screen sharing. Can you please enable?
Sorry.
I'm getting error that host
Oh,
disabled
okay,
participant.
okay. Sorry. Yeah, please go on.
Are you able to see my screen, sir?
Yeah, it is coming on. Perfect.
Okay. So this is I had giving a specific location 3, 1, right?
Mhm.
So see, this is my data frame.
See, I had the same problem. Give it as 3, 0. Just a minute. Yeah, try 3, 0.
For what? I mean,
Yeah, the
Nee,
second one.
okay.
no, that's
Yeah,
fine.
this
No. I don't understand how it works. Like I want to understand how it is working. So 3, 0, see, suppose see for this first is a row, right?
Right.
And
So this is this is your index, right? And then this is like the 0 means you have the first one, number of participating countries, that is your 0th column. Okay. This host city is your first column. So that way it starts with 0, 1, 2, 3 and all. Here in this case, you are saying 3 and 0. 3 means 12, 8, 4 and 2000, right? So 2000 is your rows here, right? And then the first is the 0th element is 200. So that is why you are able to see 200 here.
but
Okay, let me show you that way. So
so
it is like the first one, 3 is there, right? 3 means
yeah, correct. 0, 1, 2, 3.
correct.
And this is zeroth element, right? Okay.
Right.
So this
That
is
is
zeroth element.
right. And now go back to 1 and just give 1 in place of 0, the one that you had done earlier. So with 1, now tell me that what city should it display?
So if I go with 0, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, and then this is zeroth column and this is first column. Okay, Sydney.
Right. So that way you are able to pinpoint the exact location of the value. So with index at location, it is saying at location, right? So that way you are able to find out. Suppose I have to change that. So I can grab this thing and later I can change that there.
And similarly, see ILOC, this is 0 to 2. So 0 to 6 it calculating entire row, like 0 and 1. I mean,
Yeah, the 0, 1,
an entire
so,
row.
right.
Correct. Suppose I want to again do constraint it to the column
4.
also. Like I
Yeah,
want
just mention no. That is the index. You have to give that range only. So you are getting 0 to 2. You can make 0 to 4. So it is starting with 0. It will they say all the 4 elements. So 0, 1, 2, 3. It is not considering the last one. It is
no
always
that
last minus 1. Yeah.
correct. I understood. So I want to constraint. So now it is giving me both the columns, right? Countries, like number of participant country plus host cities, right?
Right. Yes.
I want to again restrict it with the for first column only. So shall I go with this one only? Will it work for column restriction? You got my point. I mean, what I'm trying to.
No. With this, like say you can you have different function there. So suppose if you want to just display a single column, right? Only one column there. So you can go and then you can call host city. So only the host cities would be displayed there. So whatever you want, you can restrict it that way.
ILOC can't restrict like this.
Nay, that way you because see the everyone has different parameters. The argument is different. So whatever is your requirement, accordingly you need to check the function and the argument it takes. So based on these two, it displays you the value. Because it is all inbuilt, right? It is already defined function. We are not changing this thing. We are not customizing this function. If you have to work on this, you can call this function. You can create your own custom function, call this function inside, and after that you can work on like some new command. That way you should be able to operate on data frame. So that becomes your custom operation, custom function.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay. So right. Yes, correct, Pranali. Okay. So now the last one, just try to this one, DF Olympic series, number of participating. Here you are talking about it is greater than 200. Okay. So it is going to give you the Boolean expression, right? So it will give you the data frame now, the data frame, the series that you are getting in. So if the condition is true or false, so that way you are getting in. So like say you have to take certain action based on those countries like where the number of participating countries is more than 200. Like you have to put them into separate category. So you can use this filter criteria or the condition and then have a separate set of like the host country where number of participating countries are more than 200. So likewise you can have like different options to work on the condition side of this. So it's like a conditional situation we have. Right. Okay, so last one done. Just mention done if you're done with the last one also.
Mine is coming Sydney, but around 200.
Sydney, it is coming. It should be Sydney only, right? Just now, Aviles has also shown, right? He had changed this thing to 3, comma 0, and then he had changed 3, comma 1, right? So that way he was able to get that value. Or you want to bring your screen on? Let me stop it. You can bring your screen on. Right. So you can display your data frame also so that you can correlate this thing. Just print the data frame.
This one.
Yeah. The first one, DF Olympic series is there, right? Yeah, just copy it and then paste it there. Only the first part, DF Olympic series. Yeah, take that. Yes, copy. Yeah, copy it and then yeah, place it here and then run this. Right. So see, this is your data frame, right? And you are now
200 employees.
right. Correlate this thing with I at. Okay. So the first one, it is a row, and then second one is the column. So that way you can start with 0, 0, right? 0th row and 0th column. So just see like where you stand.
2, 3.
So here in this case, like say 12 is 0, 2008 is 1, 2004 is 2, and 2000 is 3, right? So that way you're coming to this number row where it starts with 2000. And 1 means you're the first column is number of employee, that is 0th column. And then 1 is your first column, office. So here you are getting office as Sydney. So that is why it is able to locate this Sydney as at this location. 3 is to 1, 3, 1.
So 0, this is 0,
Yeah,
2005.
that is the from the column side, that is 0. Yes, number of employees, that is 0. This is your first column,
Okay, fine.
right? So that way you are able to like it is like you are locking a certain location there, right? So now you got the Sydney. Like say you have to change this thing, then you can use a function to change this thing. So that way you can use I at and then get this specific function there.
Okay.
Okay.
So the last command is supposed to display all the countries that have more than 200, right?
Last one, DF.
Greater than 200 in your.
The greater than 200, like all the countries, right? Where it will just check for each of this. So that once you display the value, it will just give you the Boolean value, true or false. If it is more than 200 or not. If it is like say 195, it will be false. If it is 201, it will be true. So that way you can see the Boolean value there.
No,
Yeah,
I'm getting a my.
can you bring it on? Let me stop sharing. Yes.
Should I, sir?
Yeah, please go on.
ಪಾಕದ ಶೆಕೆ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಗಾಳಿನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ.
Okay. Here it is saying DF Olympic is not found, right? Means you have name. Just see, there is some problem with the name or what?
Seems to be the same.
Yeah, the name is incorrect here. M and P swapped for
Okay.
second.
Yeah, correct. Very good. Okay. Yeah, good, sir. Okay.
Right?
That's,
Okay. Perfect. We are all getting this with more than 200. Perfect.
Yeah.
Manoj, I am also getting error.
Please bring it on.
Maybe some small error like this. Yeah.
Yeah. See, mostly if you, that is the thing. The more you practice, you will see. See, that is why the syntax is very, very simple, and Python is quite great in doing the debugging. So just check first what is the error it is coming in, and with this error, you should be able to figure out what is the problem here.
The error here, I believe, is the space in the number of no dot. There is a space, I think. Okay, it is as a space. Number of participants.
The spelling participating is incorrect. Probably you can copy that and paste it here. TI, you missed I in between PA or TI.
Good catch.
Yeah.
Not getting exactly what you
See the number of participating countries, right? That is their string you are passing, right? And you are checking this. So this is not matching there. Number of participating. You see the first one on top.
PARTI.
PRTI.
Participating.
I is missing there. After
Yes,
T.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, perfect. Right. So now we have seen, right, multiple situations where the values are missing and all. And we have seen that how any and not a number has started coming in. So let's tackle those situations, how we are going to manage those situations and how we can address those things. So there are various factors may lead to missing data values, right? The data not provided by the source. We have seen, right, that data that is coming from the payroll system or payload, right? if that has some missing value, or there is some service problem and the log is not capturing the correct data integration issue, data is not correctly integrated, you're not getting all the required value and all, there's a network value in like interruption and all. So there are multiple situations wherein you see that the right data or the required data is missing there. So in that case, we need to take a proper action so that we can address those scenario where the data is not available, and then work appropriately to backfill the data with the right value there. So we can use that is called handling the missing value, right? And again, while we do the machine learning algorithm or build any solution out there, we always need to take care of the missing value so that we have the right set of value available, and that becomes a my golden set of record. So eventually, we have to remove all the noise. That is the first part, so that we have the golden set of record. And in order to backfill the missing value, we need to take a proper action so that anything that is junk or that is not the right value, that needs to be replaced with the right value. So that way we always do the handling the missing values there. So now let's do this thing, how we can do this thing, missing value part of this. So call again this function, import pandas as PD. And now we are creating a first series, pd.series. Here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and index you have A, B, C, D, E, right? So you have 5 index, and then you have 5 values, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have done this thing earlier also. So if you have that, you can directly copy it from there, or you can quickly create this thing. Both should be similar. And now we are trying to add this thing together. So we have first series, and then we have second series. The difference between this thing is that index is different. In the first case, it is A, B, C, D, E. In the next index, we have C, E, F, G, H. So index is completely mismatched. And then we are trying to add them. Okay. Once we add them, so because it adds always based on the vector position or based on the index position. So with this index position, we can see that there is mismatch, and because of mismatch, it is going to give you not a number, NaN. Okay, so create two series, declare the first series, you have first series and then second series, and then just do the sum of this, and then call give the name sum of series, and then just we are trying to print the series, sum of the series.
Done. So I got the same result. The same
Right. NaN, right? So Na is like a not a valid number, it is not a number, right? So these are the value that is like a not a, accepted value or not expected value. So we need to get rid of this situation. So we have option, either we can backfill this thing with a right value, number one. Second is like wherever it is not required, we can eliminate this entire row altogether. It is not required because this is not a valid number. So we can do most of the time uh, for business purpose, we should not be removing the data. Always try to backfill this thing with some meaningful information there. Okay. Just confirm me, like if you're done, just mention done in the account works. Okay, perfect. Ruchi done, Devas is done, Pritham done. Okay. Okay, I will done. Excellent. So now this the situation that you have seen, that where we have not a number NaN. So let's now see how we can handle. Just give me a confirmation thumbs up that if you everyone has done this, all good with that. Perfect.
So, sir, here we have 8 values, A to H,
Right. 8 index we are talking about here. Yes.
out of which we have values for 2, but 6 are empty, right?
Right.
So in that case, like I think it's better to drop them, right?
Right. So based on the completely the situation, right? We like say most of the time you have critical data, okay, and if the data does not capture the right value, you need to again do the exploratory data analysis to find the right data and backfill the data there. Elimination would be the last thing we will be doing that, but mostly we will trying to backfill this thing with the right set of data. So
Because
depending on the situation, you can take a call whether you need to eliminate the data, that is also fine, or you can backfill the data where the data is not the right value, does not have the right value.
out of 8, if we had, let's say, values for 5 and 3 are missing, we can fill the remaining 3 with average after 5.
Correct. Yes. Like say, for example, I'll take you an example that in a patient situation, right? If we have to check a BP of a person, okay, based on the BP, I need to take some medical situation, understand the critical situation of the person. So I have all the list of the patients A, B, C, D, E, F. Their name is there, okay, and with the name, weight is there, age is there, all those things are there. But the BP columns, many places it is not backfilled. This is a critical important, like very important aspect in order to understand whether the patient condition is critical or not critical. So if that data is not captured, we have to do a reiteration of this. We have to go back, check the value, get the value, and backfill the value there. So we cannot eliminate any data here. But in case like where this value is not appropriate or not required as much, right? We can just eliminate those value from the thing. So depending on the criticality of the situation, we need to either backfill this thing with the right value, or we can just have all the right data that is available and remove all the things that is not a number.
Okay.
I am not getting any output, neither error, nothing.
Okay, you can bring your screen on, Dharmendra. Right, to see what you have done right now. You need to explain now why you are not getting any output.
First, as an input, Pandas
See,
CD,
green means all good, right? Green tick is there, means your code is perfectly all right. So you have executed all the code there, but you are not able to print the value, right? That is what your intent is, to print the value.
yeah.
Now looking at this, what comes in your mind? What do you think? Why it is not printing the value?
There should be something which I have not defined properly.
Now you have defined all the things are properly, you have defined, and you have all the data also with you. So you have A, B, C, D, E. The first series you have defined correctly. The
Here,
second is
series, capital I have taken is that definition.
right.
Is it?
So the second one, if you recall, the second one also you have done correctly, the second series. And then what you have done, you have summed it up, right? Both the series you have summed it up. And then you had assigned the series to a new variable. That is sum of the series, right? But now you need to print this thing. In order to print this thing, you have to call out that variable name. So in the next one, if you just mention sum of series and then execute it, it will give you all the value that is contained within that variable. Right.
Okay. Okay.
So you have assigned this. So it means like you have created this and you have created a container where all the data is available. Now, in order to expose the data, you need to call that particular variable so that it will flush out all the details there.
Okay. After assigning it, I have to call it.
Correct.
Okay.
So there is one doubt here, like when it comes to your notebook, the data is displayed as 13, not 13.0 for you. Sir. Is there any reason? Because even I'm getting 13.0, 25.0.
So it has now, see that data type, it says a float, right? So it has
No, no,
converted this thing as a float there. So that is why you are saying 13.0 or 25.0.
okay, no, like in your notebook, it's not 0.0. Any reason for that?
Right. So see, that is what this is like an open community where they keep improvising this thing further and further. Ideally, if it is a float, it should always have a decimal point. Okay, that is the correct status. In earlier implementation, well, they have created the pandas, okay, and called the function and all, they had eliminated the dot part. Whatever the value they are, just they are printing it. But now
Okay.
since float requires dot, so they improved this thing and now dot you are seeing it here.
So this is advanced. Okay, so got it.
Right. Perfect. So now I think everyone done with this. So let's work on this. So we have a function that is called drop NA. So we have two major functions. One is a fill NA and the other one is a drop NA. So drop NA means drop not a number, like NaN was there, right? Not a number. So we are using now drop NA and fill NA to backfill this thing or drop the value. So now you have sum up series. You have already got this thing. So call this function drop NA on this sum up series. Okay. And then assign this thing to a new value. So now you have a new variable, okay, where you are dropping all the values or all the elements that is not a number. So you are dropping the value. So that way you are slicing the data and only that is required with the number that only you are printing it. So call the function that is called drop NA and then drop all the values and then call this variable drop NA underscore S. So you are creating a new series that should have C and E only with the value 13 and 25. Remaining everything is now dropped off. Excellent.
So as a definition, sir, it should take NaN now. NA,
And not a number. Yes.
yeah, means we are taking only NA in the definition.
That's right.
Defined.
Yes. Yes.
But
Yes.
here
Yes.
it is NaN. How it is catching up? That's what I.
No, that is the function we have given. It is not based on NA, it is dropping. There is an inbuilt function, okay, in Pandas that checks wherever NaN is there, okay, it drops the same. So the name of the function they have defined as a drop NA.
The function itself has an NA and will be catching as a NA.
Right.
Wherever it is.
Yes.
Wherever number will not be there.
Wherever number is not there, wherever you see NaN, so that particular record would be deleted. That particular row would be eliminated there.
Sir, suppose I want to count sum of series dot count only only any series. So if I pass argument dot count NaN, will it work? And I'm just trying to.
You just want to count like those
How many
values, right?
NAs? This is now very small data set. We know like we can
Right.
manually count it, right?
So there would be a formula like dot size, and then if you pass NaN, like not a number, so you'll be able to get like how many elements are there with NaN, and then it will give you the size. So there are different functions to call that in order to get the NaN or not a number or say blank value also.
What size?
Okay, so are you able to get this drop NA and then you printed this C and E, the remaining portion have been dropped from there.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just give me a confirmation thumbs up like if you all are able to print this drop NA. Okay. Now let's check out this part where we talk about this. So in this one drop NA, right, we will call the function sum of the series and fill. So the other one is fill NA. So wherever there was a drop NA means we had the value NaN, right? See, I do not want to delete those records. Those records are important for me, but I want to give some meaningful value. Maybe you can give 0 or maybe average of this, mean of this, or standard deviation of this, like some value, right? Out of this you can give. So you can use fill NA. So here in this case, fill NA, sum of the series dot fill NA, and that NaN is now replaced by 0. Okay, so we call the same one sum of the series dot fill NA, and then we pass 0. So once you pass 0, it is all filled NaN at 0. You can change the value. You can say make this thing as mean, or you like many times, like say, for example, that you have height information or the BP information and all. So if the height is not captured correctly, right? So if you want to like average it out, so you can take the entire columns, average it out, and take the average value, so backfill, so that at least you have some meaningful value there. So in those scenario, you can use this. So here in this case, dot fill NA 0, and then you are able to put this thing there. Okay. Once done, just mention done in the canvas just to get a confirmation. Okay, perfect. All right. Okay, great. Pritam Singh, okay, Shikhar, done. Okay. Now, let's continue with this, and then we are trying to those handling value as this there. Okay. So in this case, fill NA with 0 before the sum. Okay. So what we're trying to do, you have the first series, okay, and then add the second series, okay, and then fill value at 0. Okay. So what you're trying to do, you calling the first series, okay, and then we are adding the second series there, and then we are calling this fill underscore value equal to 0. It means that the fill value with 0 before performing addition operation for the missing value. So what it is trying to do, it is just adding the value, and then wherever NaN is there, it is just replacing this with 0 there, and then you are able to print this value.
Can you scroll up just for a minute? Just a minute. The previous command. Yes. Just a minute. Okay, sir. You can-
All right. Now you have the series, two series you have, right? The first series you have, first series, and then add the second series, and then use this fill value equal to 0. You are replacing that before you are doing the summation, and then call this variable fill NaN with 0 before sum, and then print the value. Okay, perfect. All right. So that way you are able to print. Just give me a confirmation that you all done with this.
Sir, can you just explain this syntax?
Okay. So Here in this case, what we are trying to do, we are trying to add these two series, right? We have first series and second series. So first series and second series, and then we are trying to, because we have NaN there, right? To fill the value uh, with 0. So wherever there is NaN, so before, because we are trying to add this, so it has to be integer or some decimal number should be there. So before performing the task, I am using fill value 0. So I'm replacing NaN with 0, and then we are adding these two series. So that is why you are able to see A, B, C, D. It is all adding up. So what you can do, you can first print the first series, then print the second series, okay, and then call this function so that you know that this is my first series, this is my second series, and then all the NaN value that is there, that is now replaced with 0 before we are adding up. So now you know, like if it is 1 plus 0 is always 1, like 2 plus 0 is 2. So that way you are able to add it up, and then we are able to print this value there. So that way we do the perform, like wherever NaN is there, that is stopping us to do mathematical operation. So we'll backfill this thing with some meaningful value, and then we can do the addition of this.
Okay, understood.
Perfect. So now let's do some data operation here. Okay, some interesting data operation you can see, and let's see like how we can backfill this thing for a
Sir,
specific case there. Yes,
sir,
please go on. Yes, Sachin.
I'm getting the error. Second series is not defined.
Okay, so can you bring your screen on?
Yes, sir.
Let me stop it. So Pranali, this is used for, like, you have a situation, right? You have to do some mathematical operation, and if you multiply two things or add two things, you need to have either integer or decimal, right? In order to add this. If it is not there, you will be again encountering an error. So now, in order to avoid those situations where you have NaN, you can backfill this thing with 0 or some meaningful value, like say average or max value and all. Then you can add this two things. So that way you are replacing NaN with the right value, and then you are doing the mathematical operation there. So in those scenarios where you have to do mathematical operation, addition of two number, or say subtraction of two number, you can backfill this thing with the fill value there. Okay, so here in this case, you are saying that you have NaN and all, right? So some of the series and all.
Like
So
the name
here,
at when they define second series, like initially. You can check if the name is correct and it was defined.
Sorry.
Please scroll up to see what is the name of your second series.
It is the error is reflecting as a second series not defined.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
We need to
Scroll
go
to the
up
top.
and just see where you have defined the second series.
Even like go to the beginning.
Second series would be up, right? Where you have executed this earlier. So you have created two series, first series and second series, and then you try to add it up. Yeah. Here you have second series. So execute
Yeah,
this
this
one.
S
S
is a
is
capital.
capital actually.
Is a
Yes, yes,
capital.
yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, I got it.
Manoj, actually have one question, and that is this for this last which we actually saw this um, fill NaN with actually zeros before sum. In that we actually have that fill actually, so fill value is 0. So
Mhm.
that actually means add this 0 value for actually both, right? I mean for this first series and for second series also.
Right.
Okay, because this first series actually doesn't have those this indices from the second series. Okay,
Right.
okay,
Right.
okay. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay. So now let's use this. Okay, and let's do some interesting stuff here. Okay, now we understand how we can use backfill, how we can transpose and all. So we'll now use some data operation, like some inbuilt operation, to work on this and take this thing ahead on the data frame. So let's again clear your screen, everything, and then start with import pandas as PD. Okay, and then the next one, here we are trying to do some interesting stuff. Like say we have two movie. like the movie 1 and movie 2. Okay, and the rating is given of this movie. Declare movie rating data frame. So rating is from 1 to 5, like 5-star rating or 1-star rating and 2 star. That's just the way that you see times rating is there for the movie. So you have movie 1 where the rating is 5, 4, 3, 3, 2, 1, and then movie 2 is there, that is 4, 5, 2, 2, 2, 3, 4, 2. Like these type of ratings are there for true movies, right? And then the actor, like the actor of this is like Tom, Jeff, Peter, Ram, Ted, and Paul. So that way you are creating a data frame, and then we have the rating of the moving there. Okay, so create a data frame with this, and then we'll see how we can change this with some data operation there. So right now we are trying to create one data frame, just like we have done the Olympic game, right? Number of years, then number of countries, and then based on the year we have done. So say movie 1 and movie 2 you have. Sorry. Okay, let's wait for others to complete. So create right now we are creating a data frame. This is the movie data frame where we have index as a name of the actor, and then movie 1 and movie 2, and then their ratings have been given.
Like movie 1 is like maybe Brahmastra, and movie 2
Right. Movie 2 is any
is
guess?
what Rao Singh Chadda or something.
Okay. So let's create this data frame with the movie rating, movie 1 and movie 2, and then you have rating of this. Perfect. Okay. All done. Just mention done if you're done with this. Okay, Devasis is done. Pritam done. Ruchi done. Pritam is done. Okay. Okay. Praveen is done. Excellent. Anurag is done. Excellent. Perfect. So that way we are creating a one data frame with the movie rating, right? So we have movie 1 and movie 2, and then the other ratings and all are there. Okay. So now let's create one function now. Now we are trying to create, like earlier what we have used, fill na, drop na and all. That is all inbuilt function. So that function was already there, right? In the package itself. Now, in this case, we are trying to create a data operation. So we are creating a function out here. So function is define movie grade, and in the bracket, we are passing the rating. So see, if rating is 5, okay, we say that, okay, it is a grade movie. If rating is 4, it is a B grade movie. So similarly, rating 3 is C grade movie. So that way, we are transposing this thing with the numbers, we are transposing it with A, B, C, D and all. So let's declare a custom function called movie grade and then pass the value rating there. Okay.
Previous slide.
I'm getting an error, so just
1 minute. Getting the error. Okay, can you bring your screen on in the data frame itself?
yeah.
Okay, please bring it on.
So define movie PD. So I'm getting an error here.
At the end, I think there has to be a curly loop. You haven't closed it. You opened it, but you haven't closed it. At
It's
the
here.
end,
It's here. This curly is
Yeah, curly column is
overall there has to
closed
be
at end.
curly braces. Like at the beginning and
after index. Huh?
No, that is fine. I mean, that you had done this.
no, he hasn't. No. That
That bracket is correct. A square bracket is fine.
and after the square, put the curly braces. The curly one. Yeah.
Common bracket.
Try DF. Yeah.
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Okay. So we have just defined this one, and let's work on creating a custom function. As you know, custom function we have seen also earlier. Custom function is a function that we define. We have our control into this. The predefined functions are those that is already part of the package. We cannot change on that because that is already inbuilt, that is there in the library. We can only create our custom function and then we have the control over there. So we here what we're trying to do, we are creating a custom function that is called movie grade. Okay, and then I am passing the rating. The idea that we have 1 2 3 4 5 rating, and like say I am not transposing this thing, like one rating means A. If like say if it is a 5 rating movie means A grade movie, then it is a 4 rating, it is a B grade movie. Likewise, we are just transposing. So declare a function df movie grade, and then inside this pass the rating, and rating equal to 5, then return A. If rating equal to 4, return B. If rating equal to 3, return C. Else return F. So all the movie that is 2 or 1, right, that is considered as F grade movie. So that way you can create and call this function. Wow, Rhythm is done. Anurag is done. Excellent. Excellent. Which is done. So you call this new custom function, right? And in this custom function, let's first do just check if my function is giving the correct result or not. So you can print movie underscore grade, then you give 5 4 3 2 1, all different numbers you just gave, and just see like what are the value it is printing. The last one, if you are giving 1 or 2, it should give you F, because 1 and 2, else you are mapping with else, so it is F. Otherwise, it is always 5 is A, 4 is B, or 3 is C. Once we have completed this, then we need to call this function custom function. Now, in order to call a custom function, we have a function that is called apply map. Apply map we have to use, and then call the custom function inside that, in order to change this thing on data frame. So here in this line number 6, we have data frame df underscore movie underscore rating dot apply map. Apply map is the inbuilt function. Within that, we are calling our custom function. So this custom function, what it does, it checks wherever the number 5 is there, it changes to A. Where number 4 was there, it is changing to B. 3 is there, making it C. Similarly, 2 and 1 are there, it is making it F. So it is transposing this thing with my grading system A, B, C, D, E, F. A, B, C, and F. Yeah. Okay, we have couple of done. Excellent. So Pranali done, Arun done, Social done, Devasis done. Okay, which is done. Excellent. Okay, perfect. Raju done. Okay, just give me a thumbs up if you are all done with this, and then you are able to apply, call the apply map, and then call the declared custom function into this. So you call the custom function using apply map.
Sir,
Yes, Arun.
sir,
Sachin. Yes, Sachin.
can you please explain line number 6?
Line number 6. Okay, so line number 6, what we are trying to do, we already have one data frame, right? DF movie rating that we have used, like the earlier one. This is my data frame, DF movie rating. This is my data frame. My intention is that
Yes.
it was numerical value 5, 4, 4, 5, and all are there. I want this to be transferred as A grade movie, B grade movie, C grade, or F grade movie. So I want to eliminate all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 number, and with this I want to replace this thing as A grade movie or B grade movie and C grade movie, like that. So for this, we had created one custom function. So this custom function is basically doing nothing but changing the number 5, like say 5 means A grade movie, 4 is B grade movie. So that way I'm just changing this thing there. So once we use this function, custom function, we call the, in order to call the function, custom function, we have a method that is called apply map. So we call dot apply map, and then we pass this custom function into this. So what it does, whenever it say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, it changes it with ABCD. And then you have a new data frame. That data frame give you, in place of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 rating, it gives you the rating of grade ABCDF.
Okay, but I'm not getting, I'm getting some error.
Bring it on, Sachin. Let me stop sharing it. Yeah, bring it on.
Is it visible?
Yes, yes, very much.
Apply has two ways. That dot rating apply. That spelling is wrong for apply.
Wow, Pritam, you're so fast. Great.
Apply?
So apply the name of the function is wrong, right? AAP you have mentioned. You are all India
Single A
part.
should be there. Single A.
It's just AP apply. A,
APP.
APLY?
APPLY.
Okay. APP.
Right.
Okay.
Perfect. Got it, Sachin?
Yes, yes, sir.
Excellent.
Thanks, sir.
No problem.
Perfect. So that way we are able to transfer this thing. So similarly, like say many times you have business requirement, right? Wherein you have some numbers and all, you want to put this thing into grade. Uh, like say for example, the percentile and all we used to have, and that we want to make this thing A grade, B grade, and C grade and all, right? Just like we have CGPA. So anything that is like say more than 85%, we can like more than 95%, we say that A grade student or A plus or B or B plus. So if that is the situation, we can create a custom function and then change this thing with our desired grading system there. Okay, now we just applied this thing and then we have applied the grid and then we got it. Okay, now let's use this one example of this one, data operation with statistical function. So now we are going to create another data frame. Okay, so this data frame is test 1 and test 2. So in the first test, okay, in the test one, okay, the score was 95, 84, 73, 88, and 82 and 61. So that is the score that has got in the first test. Second test, we have got 74, 85, 82, 73, 77, and 79. So two tests has been conducted, and we have got this marks out there. Okay, and the people who were involved into this were Jack, Lewis, Patrick, Rick, Callie, and Paula. So just create one data frame with the test score. So as we understand that in statistics, we have to deal with mean, average of this, maximum, minimum of this, standard deviation, and all those stuff. So we can use that function, okay, on the data frame, and then we can create this there. So create one data frame, df underscore test score. Then you have pd dot data frame, and then test one and test two, and then you have this. Okay. Pritham done, Rajesh done. Okay. Devasis done. Okay. Okay, good. So once we call this, and then you just call the function, this data operation function for statistical function, we call dot max, means the maximum of this. So in the test one, right, the test one, we have 95, 84 and all. So what is the maximum value? So 95 is the maximum value. That is what we have got in test one. Test two, the maximum value is 85. That is there. Similarly, we can get the mean average of this. So in the test one, you add all the things and then you get the mean of this, average of this. Similarly, test two, we get the average of this. Then we get the test one and test two standard deviation, STD. So we get the standard deviation from this.
Sir, can we use that function called describe?
Describe, yes, you can call the describe function also, so that it will give you the details of this. Okay. Just confirm, like, if you're all done with this. Perfect. I think everyone done with this. Excellent. So
Manoj,
we
I'm
will.
getting error. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Bring it on. Bring your screen on. Yeah. Let me stop it. So see what is the what error it says, right? You are saying that
Frame.
There is dot after 95 instead of comma.
wow, excellent. What observation.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Awesome, Vinod. Perfect.
Thank you, Vinod.
Nice. Okay. So that way we got this. Then this statistical function of this. Okay. So let's continue on that. And then we had applied this max, mean, and then standard deviation to get the from the two data sets there. Okay. Now let's do this, and we will try to do some more operation. So the first one, again, we are creating a data frame. So data frame here, you can see the first and last, like the first name and last name. So pd dot data frame. and then we are using first column. The first name is George, Bill, Ronald, Jim, and Jimmy, and George, and then the last one is Bush, Clinton, Reagan, Carter, and Washington. So that way we are matching like the five name, the first name, and five last name, and then we're creating a data frame for the American president. So df underscore president name, you have all the five values there.
Delhi.
Okay. So this data frame gives me a different options where we have created this with the first and last, and then we have the index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it is the first name and last name. Okay. So we'll now try with group by function. So say many times it so happen that if you are dealing with the large data, right, you have name and then like the first name, last name is like matching. So you need to group them, like how many people are there with George name, or how many people are there with say Arun, how many people are there with Vinod. So if you have like thousands of customer database, so you will see the first name is common for many of the customer, and you want to group them for some specific reason. So you can use group by to group them into a specific part of this. So here in this case, the first one, we have created data frame president underscore name, and then you have first and last name. That way we printed the president data frame there, and then we call the function called group by first. Okay, so it is grouped there, right? And then with the first it has grouped. So with the first we have grouped. So our consideration is first only, the first column, and then we try to get group with George. So I'm just trying to fetch or slice the data, only those data I need where the first name is George. So we are able to extract that value there. Okay, let's see. Done group by the first. Excellent. Fine, Pratham. So you can also try out with other options also. You have so George is there that we have done in this, right? Then you can see you have Clinton, Target, and all. So that is the only one that we can group by, right? Okay. You can what you can do, you can also add the last name also, like say last name is Bush or last name is Washington. So you can have multiple, and then you can group by in this last also, and then you can have the control from the last. So that way you can have the group by where you can create the data frame where either you can control through the first column or the last column. Okay. So I can see Pritam done, Sushil done, Devasis done. Okay. Guruchi done. Excellent. Okay. Just give me a confirmation once you are done. Perfect. Okay. All good. Just give me a thumbs up if you are done with this group by. Excellent. Okay. So now let's continue this and then we'll see the data standardization. We try to do this thing. Okay. So in this case, we are going to create a new one. Okay. So create a new function. This is my custom operation. We call this one define standardized test. Okay. And then I'm passing test value there. Return is test minus test dot mean divided by test dot standard. So somehow we are trying to standardize the value there, the numbers. See, this is very important aspect, and many times during this machine learning algorithm, we need to do the feature selection. Feature selection is a scenario wherein like two different columns have very different weightage. Like say for example that if like say for example we have employee number and then employee age and employee salary. So we know that employee age would be from say 22 to 55 or 56 or 60. That is the range. Okay. But the salary may be like say 10 lakhs till 55 lakhs, 60 lakhs or 1 CR and all. It's a high range over there. So these two are not comparable at all. First one is very high, second is relatively very less. So many times we need to do the standardization of the data. So that way, all the columns have equal weightage. So that is done using the standardization process. So what I'm trying to do here, we are creating a function that is called custom function standardized test. We are passing all the test, and then we are doing the standardization. Means test minus test average divided by test standard deviation, and with this we are able to get a very similar data like that has quite a nearby values. It is not like spread, it is not like a scattered value. So let's call this function, okay, and then you can pass this thing into test one, and we are able to see the normalized value. This is called standardized value or the normalized value. So that way we can do the standardization of data set. Excellent. So Pritham is done. Okay. So the first try this function. Devasis is done. Excellent. Anurag is done. Excellent. And then call the other one, right? Standardized test score. And then we are passing the data frame and then return data frame and apply this standardized test. So the second one, we are creating another function where we are passing this entire data frame altogether. And then we are trying to standardize the value. So the one that you are getting in, it's all standardized value. See, it is how close it is. It is not like giving you a very different result, very much standardized. So many times, if the data is very spread out, like it is quite scattered data, we need to do the standardization of this, like need to bring it very near to each other, would have equal impact. We need to do the standardization, and this is how we can do the standardization here. Test one and test two, it's a quite similar, and that way we are able to get through this. Okay. Once done, just mention done in the comment box if you are able to do this data standardization using the custom operation.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah. Please
I'm
go on.
actually getting some thing error while actually
Right.
defining this function.
The first one or second one?
The first one,
Okay.
standardized test.
Okay. Let bring your screen on. Let me stop it now.
Okay, sure. So here, my screen is visible, right?
Yes.
So I actually did this DF standardize. So there is no space. I mean, there is a space
No.
in
What
between
you?
these.
What is DF here?
DF is defining, right? We are
No.
okay.
DEF. That is the
Sorry.
keyword.
Sorry. I think this worked. Yeah.
You got it
Okay.
right. So
Thank you.
DF is
Yeah.
the defining keyword. So that way you create it, and then you call this function there.
Okay. Sure. Thank you. Okay. Let's stop.
Yeah. Let me bring it back.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that way we define one standardized test and then we do the for test one, right? So first we tried with the test one. You can similarly do for test two also. You can see the value test one and test two. And after that, we are applying the entire thing on the data frame itself. No test one, test two, entire data frame. So once we put this thing into data frame, we call the function dot apply and then standardized test, then it is applicable to the entire data frame. So we are able to standardize the entire data frame altogether. Uh, what is the test? Okay, Pranali, it is not test. Okay, test is one value, one set of value, and it is test dot mean. Means like say you have the first test, like you have the test is what test was a series, right? One list was there. So within that list, you have the 5 values, and the other one is test minus test dot mean. Means what is the average of that test? Like say in the test you have a series that is 91, 94, 73, 74, 75. So these are the 5 values are there. Then test minus test dot mean means average of this. So for each value you are subtracting it with the mean value, and then you are dividing this thing with the standard deviation. So once you do this, that way you are going to standardize the data. So that is the formula to standardize the data. So see what we are passing here. We are passing test one. If you recall in our previous slide, right? Let's go back to previous one here. In this test one, we have this is the list 95, 84, 80, 78, and all. So these are the values there. So I'm passing test one, this entire thing altogether there. So this has here you can see max, mean is there, right? And then standard is there. So that way test dot mean means average of this. That we are subtracting it from the first value, means 95 minus the average of this. Say like average I'm getting 80. So the first one is 95 minus 80. 15. So that is the first value. So that way we are trying to standardize this thing and then divide this thing with the standard deviation. So this is what we are trying to do it here. Okay. So have you applied, like say I can see Anurag. Oh, thank you, Anurag. You have given defined. Very good. Deva says, Anurag, are you done with the second also? The applied in the data frame? Okay, great. Anyone getting any error with this? Any syntax error or any error you are encountering with? Perfect. Just give me a confirm thumbs up, like if you are done with the both test, like the first operation, custom operation, and second custom operation. Okay. Anyone is getting any problem? All good here. Just give me confirmation so that we can go to the next one. Okay, Ruchi done, Rajesh done, Pritam done, Rajesh P done, Pritam Tiwari done. Okay.
Actually, I have one actually the same question that is
Yes,
actually
go on.
about this data frame. So we actually didn't define the data frame anywhere. This DATAFRM. So we didn't actually define it anywhere, right?
Which one you're talking about?
This actually definition standardized test scores, and then in actually parenthesis there is DATAFRM.
Here on top we are passing this, right? This is the data frame that we are passing. On the first line, if you see, in the argument, I am passing the data frame, DATFRM.
So from where means we are actually getting that?
See, runtime I'm giving it. I have created a structure skeleton.
Runtime. Okay.
And then see, here I am passing DF test score, right? This is my data frame. So I have created a placeholder for data frame. And then while calling this function, I'm passing the actual data frame there.
Okay. Thank you.
Perfect.
Yeah, there is no data frame called data FRM. It's just for reference.
Right. That is the reference. That is the reference point, or that is the variable name. We are just creating a placeholder so that we can pass the data frame there, and then apply this standardized value to all the columns out there. Perfect. Okay. All good. Anyone? Okay, I think Pritam and all done.
I'm getting error.
Okay,
Arun.
yeah, Arun, bring it on. Let's stop it here.
Standardized test scores. So this is executed. Standardize. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, got it.
What was the error?
I think I've copied this. I typed it earlier. Now I copied.
Okay,
So,
so some spelling mistake.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Okay, so okay, let me bring it back here. Are you able to see my screen now?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we all done, right? So we have got this, the first one is standardized, and then we call the test, and then we apply this thing on the entire data frame. So that way we are able to standardize the data frame altogether. So this is what basically we have done here. So we created and then applied the data frame and then got the result. Okay, now let's try to do some merging of this. Okay, we have different values there, and then we are going to create some data operation where we can check out the merging, duplicate, and concatenation there. So merge, you know, right? Both of the things are merged together so that we have the entire single entity there. Duplicate, like wherever the duplicate values are there, so we need to take action. Either we can remove the duplicate and all, so that we have the unique value there. Concatenation means like two set of the value. We're just trying to add the value. We are not trying to merge them. We are just trying to add this there. So let's do that part. Both like three merge, duplicate, and concat function out here. So let's create like import pandas as PD. You already have. Now you have pd.data frame. Student, you have Tom, Jack, like you have 5 students and their IDs are there. 10, 56, 31, 85, 9, and 22. So each student has a like say roll number or ID. So Tom has 10, Jack has 56, Dan has 31. So likewise, you have ID of this student. So with this, you have created a data frame. And then the other one, like the first one is the DF student math. So like say this is a student who has given the math exam and they have got the score. The other one is a DF student science score. We have got three students, Tom, Ram, and David. So they have got 10, 12, and 22. So that is their numbers there. So let's create two data frame. One is student math and the other is student science there. And now we will try to merge them, duplicate them, and concat them. Okay, so we created two data frame one and data frame two. Like say first one is DF student math and second is DF student science. So we have three operations to do now. Like you have all created this data frame. You have two data frame now. Just give me a confirmation if you are done with creating two data frame, science and math. Right. Okay. So Pritam done, Rajesh. Okay. Let's wait for some more time for others to complete it. So let's create two data frame. You have data frame one, student math, and second is student science. So we have to do three operation here. Okay. So with this two data frame, the first one is we are trying to merge both the data frame together. So you have two so that we can combine them and merge in a single data frame. The output would be a single data frame. If we merge this two. Then we try to merge using the key student, like student, we have Tom, Ram, and all. So we are trying to merge this thing using the student. And then we are trying to use key ID and also NA to fill this back. We'll just check out that options. Okay, Pranali done, Devas done, Pritam done. Okay, let's wait for others to complete. Okay, perfect. So, okay, Susil done, all done, right? Okay, right. So now let's do this. So you have this done there. Okay. Point. So we are done with the first one. This is DF student math, and the other one is the DF student science. So we have created these two data frame. Okay. Now let's continue with this, and then we have. Okay. So Now merge this. Okay, pd dot merge. So merge is our function. Okay, in the merge we are calling both. Uh, we are calling both the data frame. The first one is math and the second one is science, math and science, and we are merging on student. Okay, so we are trying to create on student. We are trying to merge this. So let's use this one. So in both the data frame, we have common Tom, Ram, and David, right? Where we have the first one is 10, 85, 22, and this other one is 10, 12, and 22. So that way we are trying to merge this thing based on the student. So common student should be there. Okay, perfect. So we have Devasys done. So you are okay. So we merge on student, right? So we can see the student. We have the common one is Tom, Ram, and David between these two data frames. So we call this, and then we got X and Y, like the first one and the second one. Excellent. So Rajesh done, Devasys done, Social done, Ruchi done, Pritham done. Excellent. Okay. So the first function we call it pd.merge. So that way we are trying to merge two data frame on a given value there. Like say in this case on a student, I am merging it. The second we can again define this thing, same one. So here it is pd.merge. First data frame is math, second data frame is science on ID. So I'm using now ID. Based on the ID we are merging. It is now left aligned and fill any X. So wherever the value is not there, right? So that if that exam is missing, like if the value is not there, so that is replaced by X there. So that we understand that this particular person had not appeared for that exam. So here you can create on ID. So ID you have 1056 and all. Student X and student Y. Tom, David is there, and then Jack and all. So you are putting all, and then you have not corresponding value there. So it is all filled with X.
Manoj, I'm getting pd.merge error on the first one.
Okay. So 1 minute. I'm done. Right. So bring it on. Then let me stop it. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the one.
Right. So pd.merge, what it says, 1 minute. Check the error.
So I defined maths
Mhm.
student. It's run.
Did you run the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, run it again.
See, actually, student in the first one has a small s. Student in the
Okay.
second one capital S. Try small s in both the students, like both the data frames.
The second one, the second line, 72 line, student S is capital.
Yeah. Okay.
Run that line again, 75 line. Yeah.
Yeah. Got it.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you, Raj.
Pandas library, this field line, Jeet, Pandas is there in field line, that is there in Pandas library. So you need to import the Pandas PD is there.
Share your screen.
Yeah, bring it on, please.
No, you have to share your screen.
Okay, I'm sharing now. Yeah, can you see it now?
Yes, Manoj.
Perfect. So the first one you all have done with on student, you have merged this. Now next you try to merge this thing with ID. Okay, so here we are calling on ID and then fill NAX. So we are getting the all values, right? So what are the values are there? Like all the 5 students, 6 students we are getting, and then where there is a not matching value, that we are going to fill this thing with X, so that we have the entire data set. We are not just having the intersection of this. We are having the superset of this. Okay. If you're done with the second one, also just mention done in the convex.
So
Okay.
in second one, I am getting error.
Yeah, please bring it on. Okay. Excellent.
Is it my screen there?
Yes, yes. So you are first you are DF, math and then science. What it says, invalid syntax. So some problem with the syntax itself.
On equal to I.
On
Equal to I.
very good, Devasis. Good
On
catch.
equal to.
Two signs. There is two signs there. BF under student underscore science underscore science. There should only be one sign.
Pardon?
You have two signs there. BF underscore student underscore science underscore science. There should only be one.
So that is another problem. So there should be one science. So you have write it down twice.
So that yeah, just remove one science. Yeah. Correct.
On equal to I. Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay. Perfect. Now, okay, so that way we are able to get this two, and then we understand that how we are able to merge these two together, and then we have on like a specific parameter, key parameter through which we can merge these two together. Okay, so now let's continue with this, and then we will try to concate now. Okay, so we have one function that we have seen pd dot merge. Okay, then other function we have concate. So here we are trying to do pd dot concate, again same math and science. You can give math comma science and then complete this thing. Ignore index true. So we are ignoring the index. We are not considering the index here. Okay. So call this function pd dot this and then print the value there. Okay, perfect. So Pritam done. Okay, Pritam, can you bring your screen on? Are you able to print this value? Okay. Bring your screen on.
PD dot concat. Are you talking about that value?
Yes, yes, yeah.
Yeah. Can you see?
Right. Perfect. PD.concat and then index 2. Excellent. Nice. Okay. Are you all able to get this? The first one, concat, and then you are able to concat the kind of
Yes.
thing. Okay. Right. Okay. So all done with this. The first one, concat part of this. Now let's try out with a new one. So we are going to create a new data frame. So here we have a TF student survey data frame, PD.data frame. And okay, perfect. So let's create a new one. Data frame student survey data. Okay. Now student is Tom, Jack, then Tom, Ram, Jeff, Jack. So that way you see some common names and all there. And then their IDs are there. So 10, 10, Ram and all. Then Ram, Jeff, and then Jack, right? So that way you can see their student name in there and student ID is there. Okay. And then just print it. Yeah. All right. So just print that data frame. Okay. Right. So you just print this there. Okay. Perfect. So, okay. So Pranali has a question. Pranali, concat is basically like, say, if you recall, we have a string, right? Two string is there. So you can concat, you can join together things that it is just like you concat this together. So that way, like we join the data frame together. So that is part of the concat. Merge means like with a certain number, like you need to have the unique key. So based on that unique key, you are merging it. Concat is just like you are adding the two data frame together.
Sir, can I share my screen?
Yeah, yeah. Please go on. Wait a minute. Stop.
Okay. No, just to.
Right, right. You bring it on, Pritham. Yeah, can explain
Yeah,
that.
you can just like this is what concatenation is. It's not 1 plus 2. Rather, it's just adding the two. I mean, bringing together the two.
Right, right. Absolutely.
So yeah, A plus B will not give us 3, 5. It will not give us that kind of output. It's actually combining these both lists into a single list.
Right, right. You are right, Pranali. So it is like after adding this, just like you have a string, like say first name and last name. If I concate this thing, so you will be getting the complete name. So your first name, like say Pranali, second name Mandare. So if I concate, so we add to Pranali Mandare, so that becomes my concated name. So it is just like adding both the things together.
But if I say,
Thank you, Pritham. Wonderful. Very quick, man. To
okay,
get
thank you.
created this and then demonstrated as well. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Okay. Right. So that way, let's create this data frame and then you have this data frame and then you just printed the data frame there. Okay. Right. All done with this new data frame that is called data frame student survey data. Okay. Perfect. Right. So now let's start doing this, and then okay, I think we are done. Just give me a confirmation, thumbs up if all done with this. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now we are trying to find out the duplicate. Okay. So see in this one that you can see, this is your data frame, right? That we got the survey, and where we have duplicate, like Tom is repeated here, Tom. Okay, Jack is also repeated here. Then we have Ram and Jeff. So few of the cases we have duplicate value there. So sometimes we need to have only unique record, so we can eliminate all the duplicated value there. So for this, we can use the duplicate command there, and we can do, like flag it out. So here in this case, we call the data frame dot duplicated. So call this function duplicated. So it is going to give you false, false, true, false, and all the Boolean value. Okay, perfect. Pritam done, Sikha done, Susil done, Rajesh done. Okay. Right. So you call this duplicated so that you know the duplicated. And now next step is that we need to drop those duplicate value. I just need a unique set of record. So here in this case, we are calling drop duplicates. Okay, this is the function that we are calling from the survey data, right? We have data frame dot drop duplicates, and we are calling on the student. So on the student, wherever we see the duplicate value is there, so we are just dropping all the duplicate value. So this is a function dot drop duplicates, and then on column student, then we once print this, we are able to get all the unique value of the student. Duplicate have been erased or dropped. Right.
Sir, here we are creating a custom function drop underscore.
No, it is not a custom function. It is given function, Vinod. It's a predefined function.
Okay. Actually, in drop underscore duplicates.
Looks like a custom function.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you're right. If it is a custom function, immediately it will give you error there. Like because we need to first define this, then we need to call
that
it.
is the reason I.
Right.
That is the reason I asked, because we have not defined dot duplicates.
That's true. That's right. So this is a predefined one that is there in Pandas. So we are just calling that, and then then passing the student. So on student, all the duplicates we are dropping it off.
Even though the ID is different, but still it's dropping off. Is that right way?
No. So see, for a student, same ID would be there, right? Say for Tom, we have we have put this thing on there.
I have tried with a different ID, but still it's dropping.
Okay, so in place of a student, you have given ID, right?
I have given student. It's taking the reference of student. So if the name is repeated, it's deleting that.
Correct.
So
that is
So
what
Raju, you can give the means on in ID. So whatever duplicate thing would be there, that will drop. Since you are given on student, so it will drop, I think.
So I wanted to compare both the columns. So is that possible here? So
Okay,
if both are
you can bring your screen on. So see here what we are trying to do on my student column, right? We have just taken one column first. Okay. And within the one column, we try to have only unique value. So
yeah,
we drop this thing and we have the unique value. Now for the second one, again we can use the drop duplicate. If the second column also has some duplicates, so we can also drop those things based on the second column. So that way we keep eliminating this thing until the time we have all the unique records available.
okay. So here my question is, maybe I may have different students with the same name, but their identity
ID
their
is different.
ID is different. In
Right.
that case, I have to compare both the
Right.
columns. If both are matching, then only I have to remove those.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. So you need to use both the conditional function, and if both are matching, then you are right. Yeah. Then they need to be dropped. Correct.
So in that case, how should my function is student comma ID?
So there would be a different function for this. So
Okay,
this drop
okay,
duplicate just helping you with one column. So
okay,
there would
okay,
be other one where you can have like two column check and then you can drop the value.
okay, okay, understood.
Right. Okay. So all done with this? Okay, perfect. So that way we are trying to use the duplicate and then we are dropping the duplicates there so that we have unique set of record available there. So now there is a quick test. So see, this is the result, right? Result of the data frame you have 3:9, right? So can you suggest like what is the right answer? Okay, Devasis is saying C. Pritam C, Sachin C. Okay. Okay, all good. So C is the right answer. Like I think everyone has given C. So C is the right answer. So that way we can compare this with 3:9, right? So we are calling from there. Okay. The next one, what does it do? The fill NA. What does the fill NA method do? Okay. Okay. So everyone is saying C. Fills all NN value with the value mentioned in the parenthesis, right? Yes, we have seen that, right? Within that, correct. All agree? Yes, I think everyone is going C, correct. So C is the right answer. So fill NA, whatever we give, so that is able to fill that. Okay. Now the next important aspect is read file and write support. Okay. Now in this section, this entire segment is there. Here we are talking about handling the files, like again all the CSV file, Excel file, different type of files we'll talk about, and then we will process like how Panda process the file. Till now we have seen up to data frame only. We have created data frame, we have created series, we have seen one dimensional, two dimensional, and all. And now let's start working on the Excel sheet where we will start with CSV file or .xl file and all, and we'll try to see how we can gather the data from there, create the data frame, and then process the data frame to further do this. So all the file handling, file read and write support will do into this. Okay. So this we will continue next week. Okay. For the file handling. So your task would be for this week. I'm going to upload a two practice set. Okay. So you're getting two data set altogether. and I will upload this thing on your LMS. So you need to complete this, and then next Saturday, once we are meeting, I will reserve the first 30 minutes for you to present those cases. So there are two practice set you need to complete. It is in the presentation format. So you need to add the slide into this, complete this task, and then go ahead with that. Are you all fine with this?
Yes.
Yes.
What is the exact task? Like we should read files or? Hello.
Sorry, I missed that. Yeah, please go on.
Yeah, I was just asking what exactly is the task? Are we supposed to read files in all these formats or?
No, you are saying the practice set?
Yes, sorry.
Practice set, I will upload. So there would be like say some data frame would be there. You need to use pandas and the numpy, two different functionality to complete that task. It's like simple task. It's not a rocket science at all. Simple task. All the instruction will be given in the practice set itself. It will ask you like this is the question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have to complete. Information would be given. So you need to complete this thing. Take the screenshot of your code and place it there. So I'll provide all the things there. You just need to download and then upload it in the class drive. Okay. So let me stop sharing now. Okay, I'll stop recording.